they won't be there either.
Right.
And I have to believe that soon after she got that word and dealt with it as we all do in our own private way, she had to have thought of that. That thought had to have been one of the first thoughts she had. And so, you know, we are with her, we are pulling for her, we are praying for her and thinking all good thoughts for her, and then we want her back in that saddle fighting like hell for the little person that gets screwed every single day. And healthcare is definitely, and the Senate is the last stop. If the Senate doesn't stop this atrocity, it actually could happen.
It could.
So please convey that to her.
And then we are still going through, obviously today was the day that the president finally released the details of his budget.
Yeah.
I was in DC last week, I don't know if how man mentioned it to you, but what I was told by certain people who, they said kind of the president is not discriminating in his budget proposal. He is hurting everyone.
Well, except the very wealthy.
Except the, you know, but it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. You know, regions of the country across the board. So whether it can move forward, we'll just have to see whether his own party will support him in some of the deep cuts they're making on the domestic programs. So
What's your read out of DC on this budget's viability in the Senate?
I mean, like, it's really going to be just like with the healthcare. It's going to be what his own party wants to decide if they're going to go along with it. But I think with some of the programs that they're making cuts, I mean, we knew Native Hawaiian, we knew all of the Native Hawaiian programs would be gone, for example, right? But there's other programs that we'll have to see what the Republican majority, if they're going to stand with him or what they're going to do to protect their own constituents.
Senator Schatz's office just gave us, and he had just released a press release announcing the budget dead on arrival in the Senate. Is that optimistic or
Unrealistic?
unrealistic?
Like I say, to me, it's what the Republicans are going to do. If the Republicans are just going to, in some respects, as they have been, though they've been hearing the voices from their constituents, so how long they're going to be able to withstand that, I don't know.
I was going to say, does the senator have any kind of read on her fellow senators as far as what might happen regarding the budget for 2018?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
I think because it just came out, so I think, like I said, everyone is just kind of culling through it.
Well, it's been a rumor for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe she would have had discussions with her colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, we got the top line number, so we knew it wasn't going to be good, but just the details of it,
Of how devastating.
of the specifics, yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Well, I think, you know, it goes without saying, and, you know, we said this upstairs in Schatz's office, and we'll say it again here. We came in here in January and said, we expect you to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, and now we're back here in May, and we're saying we still expect you to do more. And that may not be fair, but it's the world we live in now. So to the extent that, you know, she gets a period here to recover. But she's got that phone, and she's got her Twitter account, and I know she's got the phone numbers of all those, particularly the women senators that she has a regular, you know, sort of dinner thing going with. To reach out, no one's better at this than Mazie, to reach out across the aisle and say, right is right, and cruel is cruel, and we can't, this isn't a partisan issue. And she knows that better than anyone. So I hope that she can continue to lend her voice to that, and that you'll let her know that we've got her back here, and we sure appreciate her being there, doing what she's doing.
So it's going to take her time to recover, but I don't think her voice will lessen.
Yeah, it seems like her voice is just fine.
I think once the Department of Justice named the special prosecutor, I think she immediately talked to her office. So she goes, "Where's my statement? Where's my statement?" And this is when she was still in the hospital. But even too, I think she's been back. How I sent it to you is even on Bannon. She's continuing to press. The White House won't give the response as far as whether he has conflicts. Is that so? She's going to the Office of Government Ethics.
Right. That was the press release that Rachel named her Amazing Grace.
So she's going to continue to press, but like I said, the voices that she hears from you all is, like I said, continues to give her energy. So please continue to do that. And hold us accountable, just like you guys are doing every week. So that's good for us.
Did anybody bring up the research stuff last week with you, the census and all of that? I wasn't here.
It was a week before,
Week before.
when I came
It
back.
was not
So-
talked about last week.
But not in detail.
So that was before
beyond
the director
census.
resigned.
Right, then
so
the
that-
director resigned, and I'm just gonna bring it up, I don't know if she's in any position to help with that, but it's part of an effort to eviscerate public data, not just the census, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Bureau of Economic Analysis. In the case of the census, they chronically undercount in urban areas, so Minnesota is poised to lose a seat in the House of Representatives because they have massively undercounted the urban areas in Minneapolis, St. Paul. They're gonna lose a House seat, which is exactly what the red states wanna have happen, and there's a whole bunch of reasons for it. So it's not just the census, it's an effort to eviscerate public data that's available to everybody. And there's a bunch of these guys, including Bannon, he's part of it, that control the control the data, and the Mercers are part of that. And it's privatized. It's a privatization of information. It's not good. So the census is obviously symbolic, and it's going to impact gerrymandering and districting and all that stuff for the 2020 election. So I'm just bringing it up. If you need information on it, I'm happy to send it to you.
We weren't in the hospital bed, but we were all doing our happy dance when first we got a special counsel and then we got Mueller. It was like Christmas came twice in one day. But now it's a White House and administration attack by 1,000 paper cuts and trying to discredit Mueller and keep him from investigating certain people because of law firm conflicts. Talk about trying to get exemptions for Jared and others in the White House. Nobody understands this process better than Senator Hirono, and as a member of the Judiciary Committee,
Right.
her voice is so powerful in calling a spade here. So please convey to her that, we all got to breathe a collective sigh of relief last week and imagine a future that perhaps was brighter than what we thought it was the day before, but it ain't over. And so for her to keep her eye on this ball, Senator Schatz had his, while the shit show's going on, they're still coming for our health care and their internet. And thank God for him, because he is raising those issues in a time when perhaps they might have slipped through the crack. Likewise, she is such a voice and such a power on these issues that if that finely tuned voice could stay focused there, folks back home would sure appreciate it.
I think you can count on that. I think, like I said, it's her inner drive. She has her own. From her, like all of us, from your life experience, she has her moral compass, and she believes in public service. She chose this route, and it's been her life for over 3 decades now. Like I said, she still remembers where she comes from. She still remembers her family, and I think, like I said, her upbringing, her being raised by a single parent, the challenges that she's faced in life all throughout, like I said, gives her the experience, I think, to deal with the challenges that we face as a country right now.
Well, along those same lines, one of the things we wanted to call out today, and I don't remember the timing, she might have actually been in surgery when it happened, but the attack on protesters in front of the Turkish embassy in D.C. is abominable. We've always said that doesn't happen in this country. That just happened in this country. You said first attack on
By a foreign country in the U.S. on September 11th.
Yeah. I saw the video of that. So.
Yeah.
And
We
the press
can't-
isn't covering it, because there's so much other stuff to cover.
Right.
We get that, but.
But we can't sweep that under the rug.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that was horrific, and again, she has the kind of voice that can speak truth to power and call that out for what it is.
And Secretary of State Tillerson's only comment was they're just gonna look into it. That was the extent of his outrage about it.
And I've
Just-
appreciated
yes.
watching Senator Hirono's questions when in the hearings.
Very much so.
Yeah, so I just want you to convey to her that we are watching and we appreciate the questions that she's asking.
Thank you.
Cause somebody's gotta ask them and we're glad that she's doing that.
And what we try to do is, like, sometimes we'll get the raw feed is I'll give it to Powell and saying here it is. So I mean, like I said, you guys get it as soon as we do.
Oh, that's my parking, sorry. But, I'm follow her on Facebook, so
Okay.
whenever she posts, or you folks post the videos of her questions, cause
Yeah.
I don't get to watch all the hearings, but I appreciate watching and seeing what she's saying on our behalf, so I really do.
And those of you who are newer to this, Alan sends me stuff usually about once a week. There's something, maybe more often as things happen, and it immediately goes up on the Facebook group and the other groups pick it up. So it doesn't sit in my inbox. Know that it gets right out there. And we appreciate you sharing the information.
I mean, just like you said, is you guys are holding us accountable. I mean, transparency is and accountability is she knows what her job is.
Yeah.
Like I said, but and communicating, it's a two-way street. So, like I said, what you guys communicate to us, we make sure it gets to her. And same thing is what she does is she just doesn't want it to be held, and only she or the staff knows, or our DC office knows, is everything that she does. She wants to make sure we put it out there for her to share.
Well, we appreciate that. And the only other thing I think we wanted to touch on quickly is being careful not to normalize this presidency and this administration while he's overseas, which is a tendency to do in politics historically. And just to call attention to the fact that Tillerson held a press conference without U.S. press in the room. Oops, forgot to call him, sorry. That's not what happened. And to continue to call this administration out publicly and vocally on these atrocities. It's a lot to keep up with. It's like standing in front of a fire hydrant. But somebody's got to do it. And we're doing it, and you know, as Chuck talks about in Schatz's office, there's the stuff you take full frontal, and then there's the stuff you take from the flanks. But we just want to make sure she's aware of those things and keeping an eye on it, and using their voice to bring attention to it.
Well, I mean, it's telling it's the middle of May, and they're only now doing the confirmation hearings for the Deputy Secretary of State today. I mean, that's pretty pathetic that they're only now getting around to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we are. I mean, how these federal agencies are being run.
There's nobody at the State Department.
You have really no one there at a senior level providing the policy guidance.
Right.
Are you guys finding that to be a real problem as you try to just carry on constituent service and business, that you can't
I mean,
find
you
people?
have you have career people, but they're not going to make any major policy decisions.
Right.
I mean, for example, even on a rail issue, right? That we find ourselves with on the rail transit project. There's no administrator of Federal Transit Administration. So when I was there, I met with the career civil service person, but like I said, and they gave us some very clear signals about how they feel about our project and things like that. But like I said, if they need to go to the next step, particularly if they feel we are in breach or something like that, and they're going to need someone. They're either going to have to bump it up to the U.S. Secretary Child's office or someone, because there's no one there within that agency to make a decision like that.
And it just doesn't seem the administration has any intention of even filling any of those positions. I mean, there's almost
No, I think
400,
that's the whole
500.
idea.
Yeah,
That's
500
their
positions.
MO.
Right, but I mean, we're 6 months,
Yeah.
almost 6 months into this administration, you can't have 500, appointed positions still unfilled. It's crazy.
I would say that's a good thing, and I would advocate that every nominee be thoroughly investigated, interrogated, and checked for conflict of interest, and remind them, do they have deep pockets to defend themselves in
But they're not even
courts.
putting up numbers.
And exactly,
Yeah,
and
but
the
that's
longer
not
it
good.
takes, the better it is. And
No, but you need people in the State Department to.
but do we need more Betsy DeVosses
No.
and people
No.
like that? And that's who they're
Jill-
going to appoint.
Jill,
So to
Jen's
me,
talking about people at a lower level than that too, where
who's going to appoint them? I think the strategy of making sure that these people know that they're putting, not only their credibility, but also their family wealth on the line, because they're gonna be hiring lawyers to defend themselves.
That's true.
And, you know,
But when you have a crisis like FEMA, you gotta have people who are in those positions, or
But you're not
would
USDA.
you,
There's
would
nobody
you
in
trust
those
Betsy
positions.
DeVos or the third ranked civil servant to make a call on an emergency?
No, but you gotta have some people
Well, we-
who are gonna be
yes, I don't-
running
we
when you
don't-
have
Yeah.
emergencies.
I mean, I think the running of the trains is an important issue.
Yeah.
But I think it is more troubling, at least to me, that not nominating these people is not, oh, we forgot, or oh, it was on my list, I'll get to it tomorrow. I think it's very intentional.
Totally.
I think it's keeping a very small circle and dismantling a democracy piece at a time.
Right, that's what Bannon, he wants to have that happen.
And we have to unearth that and deal with it through what we're calling the 2 I words, investigation and impeachment.
Aye,
Yeah. There you go.
aye.
That's it on our list. Do you have anything, Alan, you want to share with us? Anything else you want us to know from her? Anything you're working on? No, it's a perfectly acceptable answer. I just want to ask.
Any marching orders?
Yeah,
Things
any
to work
marching
on-
orders?
Things to work on this week.
Like I said, I have to check,
Okay.
let me see.
Okay.
So like I said, I think, the one thing I did talk to our DC office about that they haven't got back to me is about, the voice office. Remember, we had the
Right,
discussion
right,
about
right.
that, whether you might be able to assist us, cause we were gonna be in the process of drafting a letter to the Office of Civil Rights from the Department of Justice, the gentleman who spoke before the senator, when she questioned him about the voice office, and he claimed that he didn't have any knowledge of it. But like I said, if DHS is not gonna be there to protect the civil rights of individuals, then the Department of Justice needs to fulfill their job. So,
Yeah, if you could get back to us on that when you can.
so.
I'm still bothered by the fact that Jeff Sessions is still in office. And I wonder how he can blatantly lie under oath and still be wielding his power.
Because
I
the
don't-
president does, that's why.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
President lies every day and he's still in office.
It's not right. And then I'm concerned also about net neutrality.
So, Dave Mullenix, how you doing? Our Revolution Hawaii. So we work with homeless, a lot of things. One thing to do with homeless, and so we passed a series of laws here in Hawaii to make it illegal to be poor and homeless in Hawaii,
Okay.
and it's affecting the homeless people. They got no place to go.
Mhm.
So I've got a vet who he just got to the hospital. He almost died, and he needs to get housing.
Mhm.
And so, if you guys can help in any way, contacting VA or some way of helping. We had another vet over there for 8 months at Thomas Square. 8 months, IHS rejected him. These guys sometimes have a little difficulty communicating, and he wasn't saying what they wanted to say. So we contacted Tanisha in Oakland, and she got on the phone and boom, he had housing. So whatever you could do, or whatever suggestions you could make, or who could we call, or how can we get him? Because right now he's in a hostel, hostel down in Waikiki. He's running out of money soon, and he's back on the street. He will die.
Can you
So-
call that lady again?
What's that?
Can you call that person you called?
Susie is gone.
Yeah,
She
she's out
was
of the
such a
legislature.
wonderful advocate for the
Oh, I'm
homeless, but
sorry.
she's
And
gone.
I told him that it might be something K-Hal might be able to
Yeah.
help him with.
So we have caseworkers in our
Whoever-
office here
whoever
that
that is, if
are,
you can
are
let me
here
know.
specifically to
Right.
help individuals.
Okay.
So we have some other people. We have
Yeah, you can give me her card or give me my
we have one who
information.
specifically focuses on veterans issues. So if this gentleman is a veteran,
He's a vet.
we can make sure that
Vietnam vet.
we can, if we have his authorization, we can check into what his eligibility is. So get him into the programs
We
that
could-
he.
we can easily get
So why don't
that.
you leave your
Gay has
information
Yeah.
and,
Al.
yeah, Gay.
So, I just want, I've never done anything like this before. This is my third Tuesday, and I wanna just thank you, your office, and also Shot's office and Hunter Bruce's office being so gracious and so transparent talking with us. It was touched on last week, and because I was so new, I was a little confused. But at Gabbard's office, it was very different kind of reception. And last week, the communications director accused one of us for distributing fraudulent information, and asked another one of us what our day job was. And I just thought that was like really bizarre. again, this is all new to me. I thought that we'd come here and tell you folks what your voters and constituents would like to see happen. So what happened last week at Gabbard's office was, to me, really outrageous and unacceptable. So I just wanted to share this information.
I can only speak for our office and how we conduct ourselves. We conduct ourselves the way the senator wants us to engage with all constituents across this state. We have an open door policy with our constituents that reach out to us seeking it, just either just wanting to talk to us, and that's what some people want to do, or if they have any specific need that we can work with them to address.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You guys have been terrific, and we really appreciate it.
And the contrast is, I think, what is so stark
Yeah.
to me.
Is she coming home next week? I would think probably not.
No,
but
she's still under doctor's orders. Again, I don't know anyone who has had a kidney removed, but the doctors say that she cannot travel for extended periods.
Good.
So they are recommending that she stay
Good.
close to home. So she, at least, I think she can only travel in the contiguous U.S. She cannot. The two back-to-back trips, I think, would be.
We understand and tell her not to worry about it one bit.
Yeah.
Get well. We need
Okay.
her for the long haul.
Right.
We don't need her in for a week in May.
Yeah, exactly. And Hawaii's here waiting for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have our whole month of August that we can plan for her.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll be here for her then.
okay.
Alan, thank you very
Oh, no,
much.
thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Let me get you.